Let's talk about Half-Life Alyx. Did you guys watch the trailer?
I did watch a trailer.
You didn't watch it?
I know you posted it.
Way to do your homework.
I just didn't
do your homework. 2-minute
VR
trailer.
games give me a headache.
But you're not putting the headset on for this trailer.
No, I know. But, like, I didn't.
Right.
I got it.
The trailer showed off some really cool ass shit.
Probably
right?
look cool.
We haven't talked about it since they released it. So briefly, they showed what Half-Life 2 pioneered in 2005 was the use of item physics in the world.
I'll watch it.
Even before you should. It's really thanks, Felix. Even before Skyrim had all of its like weird physics, right? And all these games did. Half-Life 2 was the thing that showed off what physics were capable of in the game, right? They had a bunch of like demos that they before anyway. So this, when Valve makes a game, they don't make a game unless they're dumb and they make a card game. They make a Half-Life or Portal game when they want to show off tech or when they want to push something forward. Half-Life 1 did that with the first-person narrative. Half-Life 2 did that with physics and I would say a narrative as well, but they were very unique in the way they did it. They did it really well, and that's why people cry about Half-Life 3, like me.
It was the standard for a lot in video games.
And a lot of video games take a lot of cues from the way Half-Life 2 did their
Damn right.
their games. So very much so. And then Portal went even further with that, with physics puzzles and the way portals just worked in the game. And
Yeah, it was so good.
It was a surreal experience. So this VR game seems to do something really cool. Like, it uses those physics in a VR space, and it takes the gravity gun from Half-Life 2 and puts it into your gloves. And so now you're out there grabbing at things, and you got to watch the trailer. Because I'm just saying because they demonstrate it in a really cool way that makes it look fun to play. You got your character moving like barrels aside to like peek around corners and through things.
Of course, I mean, very interactable.
Yeah.
Well, I remember how the gravity gun worked.
Right.
Which was awesome.
And just the way you interacted with like objects in the world.
Yeah, you can use like
there's
gravity
a
gun
moment
to, like,
there's a
stack
moment in the
stuff
trailer. There's a moment in the trailer where she's got an empty gun and she's panicking, right? And she's pushing these items aside on a shelf, grabs some bullets, and then throws them in the little mini shotgun and then fires at an enemy. And
I like shit like that where it takes the real amount of time to do something.
And it's all
in a
one-to-one
real
motion.
tedious way, yeah. I actually like that in a video game.
Yeah, I mean, but for VR, you want that, right? Because you want that one-to-one
You want to feel
action.
like you're actually there in the shit, whatever the shit is.
It looks good. And it literally made me go, okay, I think it's time for me to look at VR headsets.
That's exactly their goal.
And that is exactly their goal. Because this year, people are forgetting that for the last 4 or 5 years, Valve put a lot of money into development for VR. This is what they've been doing. They did Steam VR, right? They have their VR interactivity. You've used it, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah.
I saw you use it.
Yeah. All the time. That's my home. Like, I don't use the Vive stuff.
Right.
I go right to Steam at this point.
And they put a lot of work into that. This past year, they put out the Valve Index, a $1,000 headset, which I will not be getting. I'm looking at the Rift S, by the way.
That's nice. Very, very cool. Yeah.
The Rift. There's the Rift. Where's that tetherless one? The Quest, I think. It's a standalone headset that they released a update for it that lets you link to PCs.
Oh, I know that.
So you can USB 3 into your computer, and you can run Steam. You can run games that are being powered by your computer. So I was deciding between both of those.
That's a nice cost-saving maneuver right there.
They're the same price.
Oh.
But you get the freedom of choice to not be tethered to your computer, be wireless.
That is nice. That's worth
similar
something.
quality.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about that later. But I'm deciding on those. Probably not going to get there yet. Valve.
You have a couple months.
I have so many months.
Yeah.
And, like, honestly, I can wait for a good sale. It doesn't matter. I'm not in a rush to do it.
You're not looking to play this game day one. You're looking to figure out what the best experience is
when it comes out.
For both the game and what to play it on, and monetarily.
Right. Like, hell, I might even need to update my computer a little bit. Because the specs for this game, the requirements, have you seen the requirements for this?
It's like a 1070 minimum, right?
I got them right here. The good news is it works with, like, any headset.
I watched
more
it.
Or less. Looks cool, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I saw how they were, like, they had to pick up the bullets and, like, put them in, physically pick them up.
Very cool. Where's the system requirements?
I like how they were, like, spreading things out, like, on the shelf.
It's a little find. Search, like, GTX.
Neo.
What's that?
I like how they were spreading things out on the
website.
shelf.
Command F.
like pushing things aside and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And
Very interactable.
Yeah, and a lot of games attempt at that, but I feel like it's Valve that really does it. Let's go to
there was
Steam.
something
Let's
else
go
I
to Steam
noticed.
page. I'm just going to the Steam page.
Command F.
You're looking for GTX. He's searching
I'm
the
looking
page.
for 1970.
I just
No,
wish I didn't
not-
get
not
headaches
there.
from fucking
From VR.
VR. And
Oh, that
somebody
makes sense,
brought
actually.
something up recently to me that I think might be valid. Maybe the low resolution of PSVR is the problem.
It is. The PC headsets have a very high resolution and a higher refresh rate.
The
which is
refresh
also
rate
important.
can absolutely give you headaches if it's too low, because the screens are too close to your eyes, and they're flickering in a way that isn't realistic to your brain,
And you
because
get
that's
the
all
scr-
that you see.
And you get the effect where you're looking through a screen door, like really close.
Yeah, yeah.
They call
All
it a
that
screen door
adds up
effect.
to a headache experience for sure.
I tried an Oculus in the Microsoft store. I played Beat Saber. Fuck yeah,
Nice.
it worked. It was really cool.
I still love my OG Vive.
Yeah, that's nice. That's cool.
I got it for $100 off too. It was like an open box at Micro Center.
So the requirements for this thing, that's awesome. I wouldn't mind doing it. I would do that. I don't care if it's on someone else's face. I'll fucking use
It's
alcohol.
been fine this whole time.
The processor is the minimum processor is a i5 7500. So I have an i7, like I don't even know if this is going to translate. I have an i7 5960.
Oh,
And
yeah.
12 gigabytes of RAM. I have 16 gigabytes of RAM.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy shit, this is one of the most intensive games. And a GTX 1060. I have a 980 Ti. So,
You gotta up it.
yeah, I'm falling behind a little bit on this.
Mhm.
And now I'm feeling real bad.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what happens with PC games, dude. Every once
Yeah.
in a while, something comes out, and you're like, shit, this is the
Shit,
moment.
this is
the
the thing.
year I have to
My
bump up.
economy build wouldn't even be able to start that.
Your graphics card is okay. It depends on how much VRAM you have. You have like a 1660 something.
I don't know, 6 gigs. I think.
You do have a
It's-
newer
it's something
processor.
minor.
Your processor you might be okay. You might be right there. You might be riding the edge. You might be edging.
It's all right.
Don't worry. Not one to worry about. But
We're good playing on
so
console.
what I really wanted to talk about this looks cool, right?
It looks very cool.
Very cool. And Valve this is their thing. They've been planning a VR thing for a while.
This is the first not Halo,
Half-Life.
Half-Life news we've gotten officially in literally years, after people were nonstop. Just everyone asks. It's like a meme at this
It's a
point.
meme. Half-Life 3. Yeah.
Where's Half-Life 3?
So this
Half-Life
is Half-Life.
reconfirmed.
This is Half-Life 1.5 essentially. 'Cause
Yeah.
It takes place between 1 and 2. So it's not 3. That cliffhanger will forever haunt us.
It's like the Borderlands pre-sequel.
Yes, kinda. Yes. So last year, Valve bought a developer, which they don't really do ever. They bought Campo Santo, the makers of Firewatch. Last year at the VGAs, they showed off a game called In the Valley of the Gods that was like premiered at the Game Awards, which is a fast approaching. It's in like a week or two from now. They bought it. They bought the studio, brought them in their fold, and then months later, people noticed that their Twitter profiles of the developers said, "We're creators of Valley of the Gods," right? Their game, and then they noticed it changed, and they removed that from their Twitter bios. So that was like a huge thing that went down, and people are going, "Why would they remove that? Aren't they still? It's still it's on the Steam still, 2020 release date." Like people are like, what's going on? They announced Half-Life Alyx a few weeks ago, right? We got that announcement. We learned that the Campo Santo people were pivoted into working on a Half-Life game. This is the said Half-Life game, and now it appears as though In the Valley of the Gods has been quietly being snuffed out, as if it's no longer being
Pushed to the
worked on.
side in a big way.
The trailer is missing, right? Didn't you say?
I can't. I mean, at least the link that I followed, maybe on
So
their
that was
official,
a game that was never released. Is that what you're
Correct.
saying? Got it.
They had a goal of the end of 2019 for a release of this game, and now it's in like permanent limbo as those teams work on and focus on Half-Life Alyx.
Right. And
What
now
was that game supposed to be?
like Firewatch, which was like a first-person explorer
Story-driven,
puzzle,
yeah.
something like that. It went from 2020 release date to now it is TBD. So
Yeah,
weird, right?
they're busy.
Busy making Half-Life. Which if you were Campo Santo making indie games, right, and then Valve is like, all right, we just bought you. Do you guys want to make a Half-Life game?
Right.
And you're a developer who loves games, who's probably played Half-Life, grew up playing Half-Life.
Yeah.
Assumingly, maybe, who knows? I mean, I get it.
Jump on it.
I'd be like, yeah, fuck yeah. Anyway, pretty weird, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I hope the game doesn't go away. I hope it's just literally on a severe hiatus while they crunch for Alex, because that kind of game I think is a lot of fun to play. And
These games,
I'm all for it. I haven't played Firewatch, but my first experience with a game like that was Gone Home. Mm-hmm. And Gone Home was an incredible, incredible game.
I played it too.
So this is the kind of game we need more of in the Valley of the Gods. Not that Half-Life wouldn't be fun, but I would hope that in the long term, an experience like this doesn't get crushed and sacrificed to have a Half-Life VR game that a lot of people wouldn't experience because of the medium.
I agree. Yeah, I'd hope not either, because that team were good at what they did, right?
I mean, it's a very real possibility of it happening, though, so we got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, it's worth talking about.